Yeah, no, I was pleased with just the fact that we were in a dogfight there, which we kind of got robbed of that opportunity last Tuesday, as did Tennessee Tech. And I think it was important overall. You could dissect and we can talk about it, who did what or who didn't do what or how they did. But the bottom line is for our team, we got better as a group today because we were able to win a close game and kind of play 9 innings of ball where the deal could go either way.
Jared Dickey gets his second start tonight. What do you think of his performance?
He did great. I mean, I don't think the ball was really carrying tonight. They hit a couple balls decently, as did we. And, off the bat, we got freshmen who don't know how to read the thing off the bat yet, and they're celebrating a home run. But they're just used to seeing him have quality at-bats. And even the at-bat where, they brought in their lefty who's really tough on guys from the left side. Figured we'd leave him in. He's earned that opportunity, and he had a competitive at-bat there, even though it was a flyout.
Would you like from the mound tonight?
Just the fact that Xander took control of the game. Believe it or not, I do kind of map out plan A up there on the desk, and I'd say it happens about 7% of the time, plan A. So, I mean, the guy kind of took control of the game, so rather than build him up in maybe 3 or 4 innings, probably, left him out there maybe one hit or two long. You always say that if the guy gets a hit. But the script did not go as we kind of planned. But Redmond's our guy at the end. Xander has taken ownership of what is a 4-starter role. That doesn't mean we can't use him on the weekend. And then Camden, has kind of been that guy for us, first out of the bullpen. So we played catch tonight, and that was the key. I think we had good at-bats, as did they. Like I said, it wasn't really an offensive night, but I think the difference was how well we played catch from the mound and then also on defense.
Trey Lipscomb seems to just be really swinging a hot bat still. What about his performance?
I think I can't get inside Trey's head, but I think he probably needed some, verification of I am as good as the coaches say, or I think he needed to play a little bit. And it's guys get opportunities every day to show what they can do. But if they don't earn an everyday spot, all they get is these sporadic at bats here and there, and it's kind of tough to judge guys off of that. And maybe their confidence lowers because one at bat against an SEC arm every now and then, like he had last year, isn't fair to judge. And there's others like that too, Jarrell. But getting out there every day and kind of getting cozy, I think is what he needed. And the kid's got big presence. He's incredibly strong. And we talked about all the different ways he can help our team. So, the numbers will go up and down. I think a couple guys won ribbons this past weekend. He might have been one of them, which is great. But that stuff will fluctuate. But the ways he can help us as a team are almost infinite.
Tony went to Texas 2 years ago and kind of made that statement before COVID kind of took that season away. Do y'all view this opportunity this weekend to kind of do the same thing?
Maybe. I mean, it's always a little different. We had crazy Alaric back then, and just equally as crazy, but in a different way, Chad Dallas. And so the Texas kids get excited to go, back home. But really for us, it's about you get a little taste of multi-team, environment, kind of, has the regional type feel, even though it's not going to play out quite like that. And you get to size yourself up how you are against these other, high-quality teams and playing a neutral site. That trip, I think, was exciting for our guys because they were so close. And, the first time you go on the road, you get even closer. You get to spend a lot of time with each other. And I don't see why this group isn't, kind of in the same boat.
You lead the nation in runs. You're kind of excited to get a chance to go against Pete Hansen on day one of that tournament.
I take it he's got the nod?
I would assume so.
Okay. You're ahead of me on the Texas game, East. We talked last time we were in here. I don't really think there's any bad blood, at least not between the coaches. There's not of the program we just played. But, every Tuesday, especially if it's an in-state team, you're going to have to hook it up. And that's kind of where we've dedicated all of our time. So we'll look ahead to Friday's game, the Longhorns, and then we'll worry about those other two teams after that. But I think, our offense is fully capable. But, again, tonight showed you that stuff can kind of go up and down. You got to have different ways to win.
Is Friday going to have a little extra? Friday going to have a little extra with the Texas being the team that knocked you out last year?
To be honest with you, for me, I've been in that tournament before. It's going to have extra on Thursday night because these kids are going to run around in a ballpark where Pujols hit the homer off Lidge, trash cans, and I'm not that, whatever. Those guys are pretty talented. but it's a big league park, and not just that, but one where there's a lot of history. I mean, heck, last time I was in there, Game 7 of the World Series, I got to touch the trophy. I definitely didn't earn it, but I was at least down there with the group, including Jan Gomes. So it starts on Thursday, and then I'm sorry, I don't know who's what, but I think it's UCLA and LSU to start. So that's going to be, our guys will be probably watching it in the hotel, and then the next game is 2 big-time teams that could make it to Omaha. So the environment starts well in advance. So, yeah, I mean, Friday night will be special, as will Saturday, as will Sunday, and, I think it'll be like that for every team.
Anything particular you want to learn about your team this weekend?
Just to continue to accumulate repetitions. Again, we're trying to build up our pitchers' pitch count. You kind of saw that tonight. Xander ran out of gas a little bit there, and you've seen it from a couple other guys where they're inching along, and pretty soon we'll be able to take control of the game like we were just talking about. So other than add up some repetitions and just see how guys are when the fire's a little hot, will be valuable information, because tonight I think our guys, I think they've got a lot of confidence from what they've done so far, and then they knew there was strong competition on the field, so they got excited, and they probably got a little too amped up about tonight, just acting a fool sometimes on some things, and you saw some at-bats where guys were gritting their teeth or squeezing the bat. So, anytime the fire's hot, you get to pull stuff like that. So out of 3 days, I'm willing to bet 2, if not 3, we'll have 9 full innings of, the fire burning just as hot as you want it to.
Tony, it's been a couple weeks. You have any update on Blade and Seth at this point?
Yeah, to be honest with you, yesterday was kind of my favorite day of seeing those guys play catch. I mean, they're going through their routine. We're not going to skip steps. There could be a day where they have a setback and we got to stay at the distance they're at, or, man, they feel really good, so let's go ahead and let them get a little further. But right now they're in the playing catch stage, and then they'll eventually get to the mound before the end of the month. And then, like I kind of have told them, hey, it's not going to just be 0 to 60. You're going to have to face some of our hitters and things like that. So we're not in a rush. There's innings for guys, and you saw tonight too. There's guys on the bench that want to be out there on a position side. I want them to be out there too. There's opportunities for guys, and then on the mound likewise. Everyone knows, the 3 guys now that threw today. We can trust them. There's room for other guys, and even more so with those 2 guys, going through their throwing progression.
How do you approach this weekend with your starting pitchers? They're young guys. The way I guess they've been throwing so far, Major League ballpark, things like that. How do you, calm them down maybe as you go into this weekend?
Well, I think a big thing is they need to enjoy it. And, Coach Anderson's got those guys in the bullpen, and he's kind of got full autonomy as it relates to coaching those guys. And I think he's got a really good feel of when it's time to crack a joke or when it's time to calm a guy down, or you could go on down the list. So I fully trust he'll have those guys ready, and maybe I'll say my piece if I see something. But I don't think the guy on Friday would have got the ball on opening day unless he kind of naturally, and maybe it's the home he comes from, whatever, or maybe he knows how good his stuff is. He's kind of got the calm and the presence of a sophomore or junior, and Chase is new to our program, but he started most of last year. And then Drew Beam he's in the same category. I think it's time to include him. Next year, I don't see why all those guys wouldn't be lumped together, so we might as well do it now. He's got quarterback-type presence, and again, another kid that comes from a really good family. So to me, the key is for those 3 guys and for all of our guys to enjoy it. It'll go by fast. It's our first road trip together. Again, you're playing in a big league park. You're surrounded by some of the best teams in the country. I've been there before. They do a great job of running it. So play ball and enjoy it. Kids game.
How do you walk the line of wanting to learn about your team kind of this last big time weekend before conference play, but also remembering that this weekend doesn't define the entire season?
Yeah, I think, you kind of do if you're competitive, and I'm just kind of spouting off cuff here. If you're competitive, everything is on the line the next game. And you got to have a little bit in you of, well, maybe this is the last time I'm doing this. So, or maybe this is our last. Now, in reality, it's not, so you don't have to put that much pressure on yourself. But I think it's a good way to make sure you're prepared, and then you go out and enjoy it. And if you're going to assess the end of that game like we would assess the end of tonight's game, I think you got to call it, this is the final thing. I mean, the sun will come up tomorrow, and we'll prepare for Texas, as you're already pointing out starters and stuff like that. But for now, we got to say exactly where we are as a team now today, and we'll do that again on Friday night, and then Saturday, and then Sunday afternoon as well.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Tate.
Thank you.